Hey there, guys. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these videos. How have you been? I hope you guys have been keeping okay. I've been doing pretty well myself. Been quite a busy 18 months. I think it's about 18 months since the last video that I uploaded to this channel. So yeah, it has been quite a little while since since I've basically spoken to anybody in this community. Really, I've answered a couple of comments here and there, but nothing substantial compared to what we used to do. So I'm getting that itch to pick up the microphone and start recording again. I have managed to obtain myself a new second-hand microphone. I hope it sounds okay. I got rid of my last one from the last time I did recordings because I didn't think I was going to end up needing it anymore, and it was kind of taking up space. But since getting that itch and that drive to maybe look at returning to content creation, I decided to invest in a second-hand USB microphone. So hoping it's sounding okay for you guys. Yeah, I'm looking at coming back. I did put a post out onto the community tab for the channel on what date was it? Like maybe Thursday, the 3rd of April. I can't actually remember. It was like within the first week of April, and asking you guys for your opinions on how I sort of come back. And I've had a few people respond to the post, and they've given their votes because it's a poll post as well, text post. So yeah, if you guys are interested, please check out the community tab just to see what I have to say there and leave your votes. You can listen to this rest of this video as well if you'd like to, and then go ahead and put your votes in the post there as well. But essentially what the post was outlining was that it was basically asking the question of how should I come back. So do I return to this channel? Do I create a whole new channel and start with a clean slate and a fresh new basically a new place to make videos? I wasn't too sure. I did sort of say in that post that I think a lot of people would say it's a bit of an unnecessary discussion, that the obvious answer is clearly well, one or the other depending on your viewpoint. But I wanted to put the question out to you guys because as I said in the post, this channel has gone through a huge amount of history. There's been thousands of videos uploaded, many of which no longer exist because of either copyright issues as they've changed over time, or simply because I've cleaned them out just to get rid of any rubbish old videos. There's been many a campaign played, mostly Third Age, but also a lot of Medieval 2, things like that. There was even a network partnership at one point for about 5 years. Started off for the first year pretty good, and then for the remaining 4 years wasn't such a great experience, but you know, I did a partnership scheme for a little bit. And there's even been a couple of extra breaks in there, as you guys are fully aware. So the channel has gone through quite a big amount of history, and all of that history is thanks to you guys for, you know, your comments, your views, your support, things like that. So part of me was thinking, well, obviously the main thing to do would be to just carry on where we left off 18 months ago and keep the existing channel alive and keep it going. But then a part of me was also thinking that because of all of that history, would it be a more sensible thing to leave that history alone, let it stay available on YouTube for people to access and sort of reminisce if they want to, but basically not add to it? Do I maybe start a new channel and go from scratch? Or the third option was to basically continue with this channel but do a full rebrand. So one example would be to change the name from Saffers and do something completely different. So I could take my actual name, for example, and I could call the channel Alexander. I don't know, and then change the theme of the channel to something reminiscent of Alexander the Great, as an example. That's an example. That's actually one example that I've toyed with before in my head, but have never actually sort of done anything with it. So yeah, there's a couple of options that I've been sort of thinking about. And I would actually be quite interested to see what your guys' input would be on that. So if you guys have any thoughts, any suggestions, please feel free to put your comments in this video, as well as placing your vote on the community poll as well. The other thing I was saying in that post was that the time frame for when I would come back and start making videos is probably, it's not guaranteed, but it's probably going to be mid to late summer. So that could be anywhere from basically beginning of July through to the end of August, somewhere in those 2 months. That's kind of where I'm aiming for, purely because I've got personal commitments coming up over the next couple of months, and then I'm also abroad for a couple of weeks in June. So it just doesn't really make any sense to try and fit in a return to YouTube when I'm already quite busy as it is. So I feel like maybe the earliest return time of July, August is probably the most sensible. And then if you guys think that a nice revamp of the channel or the setup of a new channel is something that might be good, then at least I've got that time to try and get that in place before we start making some videos. So yeah, so that's the other thing that I was talking about in my post. In terms of the type of content we're going to be doing, obviously Total War is going to be in there. I have got a bit of an interest in maybe doing some sort of narrative campaign. The YouTuber, how do you pronounce it? Toxaborg? Is that his name? I think that might be his name. Doubt he'll watch this video, but he does some fantastic narrative gameplays on Total War Rome 2 with the DEI campaign mod. So something like that might be quite interesting. I wouldn't follow in his footsteps and do Rome 2 because he's doing that. I don't want to try and emanate what he does, but I would maybe try and do something in one of the other Total Wars, maybe Fall of the Samurai, modded version of that, something like that. Or the other thing as well is obviously just the typical Let's Plays, you know, building a campaign and going from start to finish and seeing what basically happens. But I do have other games in my Steam library other than Total War. I do have other strategy games, I have some RPGs, I have some first persons. So, you know, there'd be other things as well that I might decide to do. I hope you guys aren't here purely for Total War, because I do like to play other games as well. But Total War, I think, would be the bulk theme of the channel, because that's what it's always been. And I love the Total War series, the historical ones, and a little bit of the fantasy one, but mostly those historicals. So I hope you guys are looking forward to those types of videos. If you have any suggestions on campaigns or games you'd like to see, then of course put them in the comments as well, and we can see if that's something that that I have in my Steam library, and B, that's something that I can put together. So as always, I'm always open to my community's tips and suggestions and thoughts on everything. So yeah, don't want to really drag on much past the 10-minute mark on this video. I don't think too much more needs to be said. So while I've still got just over a minute and a half left before we hit 10 minutes, I'm going to take the opportunity to say thank you very much for listening, if you stuck around for the whole of this video. And again, any tips, suggestions, thoughts, feedback, put them in the comments below. There is the community poll where you can put your vote there as well. And I hope you guys are looking forward to summer 2025, where we might get some new Total War videos. Let's see what happens. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you later.